Hey, Brite Nation. I wanted to dedicate this next video to my father, who we lost in a tragic accident back in April. It's been pretty hard dealing with it, and we've been doing a lot of traveling lately and wanting to spread his ashes kind of all over the country, actually all over the world. You know, I was able to pay for him to go to Thailand for his birthday a few years ago, where we met him out there, and it was like one of the greatest trips of his life. And I just want to dedicate, you know, we haven't told anybody about it really. Like, I think I posted it on Facebook, but he was in an accident, and he passed away instantly. So there was that. But, you know, we do YouTube. He's been on our YouTube. He was a big supporter of us and all of our travels and the way we lived life. You know, I want to dedicate one of these Colorado videos to him. And we're going to be traveling a lot more places and spreading his ashes, you know, throughout the world as we travel this year and next year. So we're going to a lot of cool places we haven't been to, some places we have been to. And this was just a really beautiful video. And so I think we just, you know, decided this would probably be the one to dedicate to him. So I love you, Dad. Rich Wiggins, you know, father, Marine. It's just hard, but hope you guys, you know, really enjoy this video of pretty much kind of our almost last day in Colorado. We have one more video, but this one was kind of like special towards the end. Just enjoy. Thanks.
What's up, Brite Nation?
What's going on, guys? It is another, again, beautiful day in Colorado. We are just going exploring, having fun. You can't get enough out here.
If you haven't been following along, we're on a giant Brite family adventure, essentially, to prove that the stepchild, as monstrous and beastly and final boss edition as it is, can still do it all, including driving 80 miles an hour across the country on the highway, hitting
AC,
off-road passes,
radio,
AC, everything.
seats, 110 degrees outside.
We already know it's an extreme rock crawler, but we want to prove that we can do what we used to do, OG style Brite, which is basically we're living out of the Jeep and traveling for a week.
And I mean, it's proving it to us. It's proving it to ourselves.
Yeah.
It's like we don't have to prove it to you. Like I was wondering, because 42s, and we've been trailering for a long time now because it just makes more sense, right? Throw the Jeep on the trailer, if something breaks, But you know what? It is so built, we shouldn't be breaking anything. And I miss driving the Jeep. Look at this thing, rolling around down the highway and into towns and stuff like that with that.
It's been a really cool adventure so far.
Yeah.
So we started in southern Utah, back home. We drove the Jeep all the way to Colorado, and we've been taking mountain passes and trails all the way across Colorado. And we're on day 5?
Kind of like central Colorado.
Basically.
Just north of 70 and just south of 70, kind of within an hour and a half of that, and just, yeah.
And if you've been following along, we ended our last video, and if you haven't watched any other videos, go back and watch them, because
It's a good series.
You've
It's a really
missed
fun
a
series.
lot.
Yeah.
But we started, or ended, I guess, our day yesterday in Buena Vista. We stayed the night, and this morning we got up and we drove all the way to Fairplay. And today we are taking trails, passes, highway, on-road, off-road from Fairplay all the way up and over into Georgetown. Now Fairplay is right here, and as you can see all the orange dots, we've already started tracking. And if you see the black line, that is actually the route we built on Onyx Off-Road, which is the app we've used for this entire trip so far. And we built our route before we ever even started this journey. So you can kind of see all the bits and pieces we've done so far. And today we're over here doing this.
Yeah, so if you want to build a route, it's super easy. You go into tools and hit build route. It's simply that, and then you just start clicking on where you want to go and it builds it out for you. If you want a full tutorial, we did it in our video 1 where we showed building it all out. The one thing I do want to say is that make sure and go to offline maps and download the offline map area. So when you don't have service,
Which is almost every single one of these passes and trails.
right? So I just clicked offline maps
because you saw it was like slow to load because I have one little bar of service. So I clicked offline maps and you can see these big green areas. That's everything I've downloaded. So without any service, I can actually zoom in and have some kind of definition of where we're going.
Now on the orange dots, that's because we've paused the tracking so we could show you everything. But we're about to resume tracking and we're gonna track this entire adventure today. We've tracked every single day of all the passes, all the on-road, off-road driving we've done. And I'm gonna include the links for all those GPX OnX files in the description below of this video. So if you wanna come out and relive this adventure yourself, all you gotta do is go to the description, click on it, and you can come out here and follow exactly what we're doing today. Getting it. So these guys were actually, they brought the trailer all the way up here, which is crazy because the road, it's not super bad, but it's not even. Like, it's basically this type of stuff and it's rutted. And we've been on it for, I want to say like maybe 5 to 10 miles. So the fact that they got the trailer all the way up here is pretty impressive. Like, that takes some dedication to tow a big RV like that up here. And they made it, and they've been camped out here in this beautiful, because there's a million camping spots out there and they're all stunning, they're all beautiful, they're all in these beautiful flower pine trees, and they've been camped out here for a while. And they were, as of a few hours ago, in the process of leaving. They had to back the trailer out though and got themselves a little cattywampus and jackknifed, but luckily they've got a big Jeep with a 426 Hemi and about 2,000 foot-pounds of torque and 4-low. So we're gonna see if we can help them out a little bit. All right, so in this case, because we're trying to be really gentle, we're just using a kinetic rope. Technically, you don't wanna use a kinetic rope for like a static slow motion pull like this, but we're trying to be real gentle. We don't wanna, nope, hold on, Kev. Look how close that is to his back window. Oh God, that's scary. So although we are here to help, we're kind of also letting, it's this guy's truck and trailer, so we're letting him kind of pick and choose what he's most comfortable with. We've given him several suggestions because the stepchild's capable of dragging this thing sideways. It's also capable of pulling the truck forward. It's capable of pulling this backwards. So we've given him a few different options and letting him kind of decide what he'd feel most comfortable with. Hold on, Kev. Keep it tight. He's gonna pull forward again real quick. So I don't know if you can see, we're actually using our Factor 55 tow hitch receiver to do this, just to give us the best possible and strongest kind of connection there, because I don't know really if anything else along the back of that trailer would be super safe to pull on. Hold, Kev! Cuffs up! There you go. Pulled forward again, he's a little bit straighter there. We're basically just kind of Austin Powers maneuvering. This is just... Stop! Stop! Woo! So our original suggestion was to try to pull the side of the trailer sideways. They didn't want to do that initially, which is a decent concern. Like, those tires aren't really meant to be pulled sideways over this type of rough terrain, but I think that's the only way to really get this trailer easily lined up a little bit better so we can make this corner downhill. So we doubled up the rope to give us a shorter rope so we don't have to go off trail or off into the tundra. And we're gonna try to pull the side just a little bit this way if possible. It is. Hold. So we're trying to be real gentle. So those tires, yep, yeah, there you go. There you go, you're missing the tray trunk on this side. You should be fine. We're good. Kevin, he says he's good.
Lite, Brite Off-Road Rescue and Recovery.
Yeah.
Brite Nation Rescue and Recovery. So I always keep a Factor 55 bag with us that has a kinetic rope, a snatch block,
A hitch receiver.
couple soft shackles, and a hitch receiver. With that, you're pretty. Oh, and I have a winch extension line. I have like a 50-foot or 100-foot winch extension line.
It's a pretty good overall recovery bag for almost any situation.
Yeah, it just kind of has a little bit of everything.
But thank God we came up and came by when we did.
They got pretty lucky.
That I don't see how they were getting out of that on their own.
It was pushing him further and further down the hill, and it would have been bad.
It wasn't even so much of us having to drag the rear end like up into the side. It was more just keeping the rear end from sliding and falling down the hill as he was backing up, which is what it kept doing and how we got into that predicament to begin with. That's a big RV
That was a big RV.
It wasn't like a camping trailer. That was a big ass RV.
That was a big RV. That's crazy. Anyway, yeah, if you don't have recovery gear, Factor 55 has bags. I don't know the name of the bags, but I know they have like a small, medium, and large, or maybe just a medium and a large. Either way,
9 times out of 10, when we've needed it, it's been to help someone else, and it always comes in handy to have. So, anyways, Lite, Brite, rescue and recover for the win. And with that, we've just gone over Georgia Pass, which is 11,000 feet, 598. So
that was a weird way to say that.
That was a really weird way to say that. Yeah, 11,598 feet in elevation was Georgia Pass. Now we're going down the backside, and we've got more passes, more driving, more off-road, more on-road to go.
This is the actual trail now. Because going up was just the road. Now it's showing it
wasn't graded dirt road, but it was flatter dirt road. Coming down this backside, you'll see here, it's a little more of an actual trail.
By the way, for those of you who have been following along this whole time, you'll know day one, we found a radiator leak when I was overheating, and it was real bad. Like, it could have been real bad, but we caught it. Could have been. So the next morning, I did some radiator stop leak. It was some aluminum stuff in a bottle. We put it in, and
for anyone who was wondering,
dog teams on trail next mile, please drive. Anyways, for anyone who was wondering, it has worked. I don't know how big the leak was or how bad it was or really where it was. I just know on the radiator somewhere.
But no more leak.
No more leak. I haven't been using any more coolant, and the temperatures have been staying cooler than like almost they've ever been. So it worked. And I may have had this leak for longer than I know.
Found out what the sign was for though. There's another sign that said "Good Times Dog Sledding Tours." You want to go pull a dog sled, Peanut Butter? With your tiny little legs?
What's she gonna do? Pull a hamster?
She'd probably eat the hamster. Okay, so we've made it up and over Georgia Pass, and now we're on a different trail. Honestly,
something Swan River. North and middle fork of the Swan River.
Yeah, that mouthful. But I want to mention how awesome it is that you can literally drive all over Colorado and get just about anywhere in Colorado by taking backcountry dirt roads like this. A lot of these roads through the mountain, these dirt roads and off-road trails through the mountains are like old fire service roads and stuff like that.
Now they're either county roads or they're fire service roads or whatever.
Or they're off-road OHV trails or whatever the case is. But they are everywhere.
Yeah.
Like you could come out here with, you know, a mild 4x4 capable vehicle. Like a stock Jeep could do just about any of these. Yeah. There's a few like the ones we did in Buena Vista that obviously you're gonna need a little bit more of a modified rig. But a lot of these passes, any type of capable 4x4 vehicle, if you wanna be extra safe, like have lockers, you could come out and do this and you can explore the San Juan and the Rocky Mountains just like this, all over the freaking state. And it's pretty incredible.
We're literally going from city to city, just taking as many
off-road trails.
And actually some of it I could do more, but we're like just kind of cutting it out. Like
we only want to do so many hundreds of off-road miles a day, which is, I feel like a fair thing. This whole trail is absolutely stunning. 10 out out of 10 for this one, but it is all, you can tell, it's all very steep.
Yeah, if there was any
Uphill.
snow or ice here.
Yeah, any snow or ice, no way, no how. But we're doing this whole thing
Two-wheel drive.
in two-wheel drive and too high, no less, which is, and the Jeep's like killing it.
And that's without the rear locker on, so we're just one tire in the rear. These 42s are so big and have such a big footprint. I'm literally just one tire in the rear hauling this 6,000 pound Jeep
Up this mountain.
up this mountain.
It's so pretty though.
It's pretty impressive, honestly. I really like this trail. It's so smooth.
Just look at how green and beautiful this is. 11,500 feet of elevation right now. You always know when you're between about 11 and 12,000 feet because you reach the tree line. But that literally, that trail took us, it was all like pretty steep uphill, straight up the mountain. We're about 11,900 feet of elevation right now.
And like super pretty, and like prettier than most in there. Like it felt,
It
I don't
was
know, I really like it.
gorgeous.
Yeah, really, really like it.
If you did not watch our last video, absolutely go back and watch it because this trip has been absolutely insane with wildlife. We've seen black bear, moose, elk, all in a single day. And now I'm seeing mountain goats. With babies. Oh my gosh. Oh, how beautiful. Like, even as babies, they're literally just like leaping off cliffs. That has got to be one of the most surreal off-road experiences. We're at 13,000 feet, all alone at the top of this pass with a 360 degree of just epic mountain views. There's a storm coming in, there's lightning in the distance, and there's 12,500 feet, and there's a big old mama mountain goat and her two little babies just frolicking in the snow and on the hillside. And she came right up next to the Jeep. That's insane. What an amazing experience. This is hands down so far probably one of my favorite like trail and pass combinations I've I've ever been on in Colorado. And I might be feeling a little extra high from the mountain goat encounter at the moment. But the views, the 360 views as you're coming across the top of this pass and that pass, and the views are absolutely stunning. So it's the Swan Lake that we showed earlier, and then over right now we're coming down Radical Hill, which is
pretty radical. It's super steep, and this is just all drop-offs. Like, make sure your brakes are cooled and you're ready to go downhill, because yeah,
it's a switchback. I mean, it's just your normal shelf road switchback. They're all over Colorado. Definitely want to make sure that your brakes are working fine. You're in 4 low,
which I don't have right now. I'm stuck in 4 high,
and it's starting to rain, and there's thunder, and there's lightning. Anyways, this is just an epic freaking day so far. Minus the fact that we just lost our 4 low, which we just found out. Which is, how did we find that out?
I went to go into 4 low, and my shifter just here.
It's not doing anything.
No.
So unfortunately,
it was my fault, but
yeah,
whatever.
The sheathing that goes around the cable apparently has melted.
So when I was doing all that uphill and 2-wheel drive, I got the exhaust way too hot.
Super hot.
And it melted through the cable.
And so,
if I would have been in 4 low climbing all that, there's a lot less heat being produced because the gears are doing the work.
Yeah. So if you don't know, essentially it's a metal cable through kind of like a plastic sheathing. And that's kind of how your transfer case works. The plastic melted, which means now the metal isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing, and so we are stuck in 4 high. We'll figure out what we're going to do about that later, but at the moment we are going down in 4 high.
That's fine.
Not ideal, but it'll be fine for now. This Radical Hill isn't for the faint of heart. It's very reminiscent to like the Black Bear switchbacks, but as you can see, quite a bit more rough in terms of like rocks and little things you sort of have to sidestep around if you don't want diff catchers, or crawl over if you've got bigger tires.
Shifter cables on the way from advanced adapters and heat sleeving. I have very thin sleeving on it right now, but it should have had the bigger insulated stuff. Anyway, so we're stuck in 4 high right now. I don't want to drive home 12-13 hours in 4 high. That's probably, could you? Sure, in an emergency, but I can get up underneath the Jeep once it cools off, and with a little pry bar or screwdriver you can it's the left side shifter. You just have to pry it away from the transfer case. So you get under there and pry on it, and it'll pop it into neutral.
So then we'd be in 2 high.
Then we're in just rear high, and we'll be fine. So right now is not the greatest time to lay under the Jeep.
It is rainy, but absolutely beautiful.
So we're gonna basically get out of here when we're done, air up, and I'll just have to drive at 4 high for right now until we can find out where we're staying, and then maybe in the morning. I don't really know.
Or just, when the Jeep's cool and it's not raining and super muddy or anything like that.
So it is possible to mechanically pop it out, which is nice. Like, so in a Bronco with an electronic transfer case, if it screws up,
that's it.
You're just screwed up. Having a mechanical transfer case, I do wish we could do just mechanical linkage without having the cable, but you can't do that with making this all look OEM.
The way it does.
Right. Like, could you do it? Sure, you could cut all this out, cut a hole in the floor, and do mechanical linkage and build up a box and do all that, but that's not what Atlas was trying to do. They wanted this to look as
OEM as possible, which they succeeded. It looks amazing.
Oh no, it looks amazing. But in my case, I might...
Whoa. The lightning and the thunder has been insane coming down this mountain. It's amazing.
In my case, at some point though, I might cut that out, cut the floor out, do mechanical linkage, and then just do a carpeted box around it. It'll almost look, it just won't have plastic.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. Okay, so it's still raining, everything's wet, everything's hot, but luckily we have the Dynalock lockouts. So I can leave it in 4 high because I can't shift out of 4 high right now. And instead of climbing under there and trying to get my hand all burned and pry on that, I'm just gonna unlock the front hubs. So that's gonna just disconnect the axle from the hub. So now 4-wheel drive, it's still spinning the drive shaft, it's still spinning the gears, but as the shafts are out there spinning, they're not connected to anything. So as I turn, it's not gonna be in 4-wheel drive. Like we're in 4-wheel drive, but it's not gonna act like 4-wheel drive. The fronts are just
disconnected.
free.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fronts are just disconnected. So that's what I'm gonna do for now, and then
We'll
maybe
see.
later. Yeah.
We'll see how the weather and everything else looks and see if we can pop it into neutral later maybe.
Yeah, but this is an easy, I mean, I can technically drive like this for no problem.
And that's it. We are officially in Georgetown, Colorado. We're staying here for the evening because the trail we're doing tomorrow, or trails, I don't know. We haven't.
See what happens with the 4-wheel drive thing.
Yeah, we got to figure out the 4-wheel drive thing.
I have 4 high and a Hemi, so like, do I really need 4 low?
No, we've done 95% of this entire adventure in 2 high. So
Which is why I melted my cable for.
fair. Anyway, stay tuned. More to come, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. You can find all your Lite Brite Nation merch and decals at LiteBriteStudios.com. As always, we love you, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
PP Island and going to Raleigh Bay, and look who I ran into. My dad is here. My dad is here in Thailand. He just happened to be on PP Island here with us, and he's headed to Raleigh Bay, but then he's headed over to somewhere else. So we got to hang out with Pops for a night and a morning. That was great. Running into him in the middle of Thailand, in the middle of the ocean.